So OpenAI has just released GPT 5.6 along with two other major updates that I think it's very important to know and you don't really want to miss it. So the first and biggest one is GPT 5.6. Now, this is the next model right after GPT 5.5, which was an amazing model. But now we have GPT 5.6, which is the frontier intelligence that scales with your ambition. So let's go there and check what they have got for us. So on this page, they're going to talk about the GPT 5.6 itself, but here's the catch. It has three main models or mode. So we have GPT 5.6 Sol, which is this one, the biggest one, and they kind of like went after the names of the planets. So yeah, this one is Sol. It refers exactly to the sun, and on the basically page, it is funny that you can move this around. So yeah, this is GPT 5.6 Sol, and this one is the biggest and most capable model that can handle very complex tasks. So the next one is this one right here, which is looking like Earth, and the name for it is GPT 5.6 Terra. So yeah, this one is basically a little bit smaller model than Sol, and they are saying that it is good for everyday tasks like everyday conversation. And basically, if you're not building anything big or crazy, this should be your everyday go-to model. So after that, there is a smaller model, which is basically faster than any other model. I mean, other than these two models that we just saw. And this is this one, which its name is Luna, which kind of referring to moon. And you see it is very close to the Earth. So yeah, this one is the smallest model, but it is very also capable. But in terms of latency and token efficiency, this model is very fast and very cheap to use. So if you scroll down, there will be a 3 minutes video that they are introducing it, and you can just go and watch it. But basically, they are just telling that how GPT 5.6 is helping other people to run their business, build some cool stuff, and basically helping them in any field that they have. We scroll down, you see they say that GPT 5.0 Sol sets a new standard for both intelligence and efficiency, achieving state-of-the-art results across coding, knowledge work, cybersecurity, and science while outperforming previous models. And if you again scroll a little bit down, they are saying that alongside 5.6 Sol, they are bringing 5.6 Terra and Luna, which they say these two models outperform Fable 5. I think it's kind of like exaggerating, but GPT 5.6 Sol is basically competing with Fable 5. In a few seconds, I'll show you also the benchmark and the analysis result. Now here on this website, it is artificial analysis, and here we have a chart, and based on this benchmark from this website, and currently you see it is updated as the time of recording this video. So yeah, Fable 5 still is the most basically intelligent model as we speak right now. You see it got a score on 60, and right before that we have GPT 5.6 Sol, which is the greatest model, the biggest one on max reasoning effort, and it is standing on 59. Then after that it comes like Opus 4.8, and then 5.6 Terra. And if we go a little bit backward, we can see also GPT 5.6 Luna, which is basically right behind Claude Sonnet 5, which was released 1 week ago. Yeah, the benchmarks are very close to each other. And the funny fact is that now we have Grok 4.5, which is surprisingly good at coding and basically agentic work. Now a little bit we go and scroll down, and here I want to show you this one. Yeah, artificial analysis coding agent index. So here on this benchmark we have Codex GPT 5.6 Sol on the first place, far away from Fable 5. So Fable 5 here standing on 77 score, and GPT 5.6 on 80 score. So this means that 5.6 Sol is very good at agentic automations or agentic workflows. So if you have worked with Fable 5, you might notice that Fable 5 is also a great model, but you cannot have it basically running long tasks. And with agentic tasks and agentic automation, it's kind of like better not to use it, because in terms of speed and token efficiency, cost efficiency, and these kind of things, it is not good. Right now we can use GPT 5.6 Sol which has 80 score on the artificial analysis coding agent index. So yeah, this was the first update from OpenAI. Now we have three powerful models that we can just go and build some cool stuff and work with them inside our business or personal life. Now the second update alongside the first one is that now we have something called GPT Work, and GPT Work is basically kind of reminding me of Cloud Cowork. If you have worked with Cloud Desktop app, you know that we have something called Cloud Cowork, where you can basically use Cloud locally on your computer and have Cloud access to all of your files in your business or in your personal life, and better than that, to basically take over your computer and get tasks done on your computer. Now we have GPT or ChatGPT Work. And what is it? It says powered by GPT 5.6, ChatGPT Work brings together context from your team's tools to turn scattered notes, draft, and ideas into finished work, and keeps project moving while you stay in control. So now basically with ChatGPT Work, we can connect all of our existing applications or platforms or software inside our business all together in a single place, and we can start talking to it and basically get things done. As you can see here in the video, they are also showing how ChatGPT Work basically work. Now with this, you can turn ideas into action. Basically, you can create a share-ready work with other people in your business. You can make your work interactive and keep it like current. Basically, you can, with whatever data you have from your business, you can create sites that you can already publish it and send it to all your coworkers. You can connect your tools, your workflows, whatever apps and platforms that you use inside your business, you can connect them all together in one single place. And you can keep your projects moving on schedule. Basically, if you have some running tasks that you need to run it manually every day, now with ChatGPT Work, you can basically put them inside one project and have those projects to run by itself, like scheduling it. And what is better than this, you can basically iterate work side by side in ChatGPT. Imagine you have ChatGPT sitting exactly next to yourself, and then you just ask questions, you give commands, and ChatGPT act as a agent, not a coding agent, but as an agent inside your data, inside your business, and inside your information. And you can just say, go and do that, go and do this. Like, you can give tasks and it can basically go and do it. But still, you can review the approach before the work begins. Basically, you can put it in plan mode, and ChatGPT gathers context, asks questions, and create a step-by-step plan for you. So you can review it, and if it is good, then you can execute it. So in order to use ChatGPT Work, you need to basically, of course, I think you need to have a paid plan with ChatGPT, but I'm not sure if that works with the free version, but I think it works. So now you can see, if you come to the web application, like web ChatGPT, now we have chat and we have work. So if you click on work, now you can see you can change your models. Basically, with this slider, you can choose whichever model you want. We can put on Sol, Terra, Luna, and even we can like put it on 5.5. Still, it is working. And we can basically toggle the effort to be light, medium, high. This is like a reasoning and basically a thinking level for it. We had it like before, so there's nothing crazy about this. But if you put it on advanced, basically it will put it directly on the 5.6 Sol, and then you can click on this and take it to the extra high, and basically now ChatGPT like works to the maximum potential to get the work done. Now you can even choose project. So you see that on ChatGPT, we used to have some projects on the sidebar. If you see here, we could basically create projects here. Yeah, exactly. And now we can bring the projects exactly to our work section. So from here, we can just choose whatever project that we are working. And now we also have access to plugins. So if you don't know what is plugins, basically plugins are, you can think of it as an MCP server or just tools that we can give to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can work with that. So initially we had them in the settings section, and you had to go to somewhere here. It was written apps, and you needed to basically go to the apps. But now they changed it and they made it into plugins. So now whatever plugin I add to my ChatGPT account here, it will also reflect to my Codex app, which we will talk about it in a minute. The Codex app, like the coding agent from ChatGPT or OpenAI. Now, this is a new form of apps they changed the name, they put it like plugins, but now these plugins are shared across your ChatGPT subscriptions. It doesn't matter you use Codex, ChatGPT, like the Codex app, doesn't matter really. And also from here, I can open the desktop app. You see, because I have the desktop app installed on my computer, and we will talk about it right after this, but now I can just take things done here, and from here I can take it to the desktop app. So go ahead, connect plugins. They have so many plugins here. I already connected some. You can bring whatever you want. So for example, you can bring all your emails from Gmail, from your Slack channel. You can also connect to GitHub, your Supabase, your database, whatever you work, even Google Drive, you can bring it here and start working alongside ChatGPT. And using this, I don't think it's gonna cost, like it's gonna burn tokens through your ChatGPT subscription, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I need to just read the documentation, but they didn't say anything. I basically couldn't find anything, at least with a little search that I did. I mean, if you're able to change the models and put the reasoning effort to like light, medium, high, this means that this one basically takes away tokens from your usage limits. But anyway, yeah, this is like exactly same as Cloud Cowork, but I think it's more powerful. So just go ahead and test it with your business, with your all of your context. And you see it says work. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to use it in your business. So like this work tab or work section lets you to bring everything into a single unified place. So I can bring all of my like one section of my business here or my projects here and start working on it, instead of having everything like here and there, like in multiple places. I can put everything in one unified place and start working. All right, now the last update is basically Codex joins the ChatGPT desktop app. So before that, we had Codex desktop app that we could use Codex in order to build things like build projects, build applications, and have some automations. But now they changed Codex, and basically they put Codex inside another app, which is a super app, and they call it ChatGPT desktop app. So if you have Codex installed, you need to update it. And basically now it says Codex is now part of the ChatGPT desktop app. So they changed everything. Now what we have is a ChatGPT desktop app, and inside this we have Codex. All right, so yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is now the new ChatGPT app. We cannot call it anymore Codex because they changed the logo and they changed also the name. Now this is ChatGPT app, and inside this app we can have like we can use Codex, and we can also use Work. Remember I told you from here. So yeah, from here we can also open the desktop app, and what happens is that it brings us whatever we had inside the web version here into this app. Now this is exactly the same as Codex. Right now I'm on Codex, but we can change it to Work, and you see something gets changed. But let's go back to Codex, and yeah, basically everything is the same. We have our plugins, we have our scheduled tasks. We now can see our pull request if you connect it to GitHub, and we can also use the ChatGPT directly inside this app. So you see here we have a chat. If I click a chat, like a ChatGPT pops up here that I can just say hello, and this is like a normal ChatGPT app. So yeah, exactly, it basically talks to me, and I can also change here whatever I want. So on the ChatGPT we cannot put it on other two models. We only are allowed to put it on Sol and have it like high, medium, and instant. So basically the same as that we are using the chat version here. Everything is the same. Even in the web version we could also create images, and now also here on the app we can also create some images. So everything is the same. But now this app is basically becoming a super app that has everything inside it. It has the ChatGPT chat, it has the ChatGPT Codex, and it has now ChatGPT Work, which is basically for getting work done. So yeah, that was it, guys. So I just wanted to let you know and cover these new models, but I'll also start building some very interesting stuff with ChatGPT 5.6, and I'll be posting the videos on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss the future videos of me building with AI agent and basically these kind of new models that they come every day. If you found value with this video, just give it a like. It really helps me to show this video to more people like you, and I'll see you in the next one.